Last night we were holding right around 45,000. And this morning, man, we fell all the way down to 40,500. Unexpected, right? So what exactly happened? There's two explanations, for why this happened. Number one, a lot of people already, I could see it in the chat, blaming Jim Cramer. That's right. Yesterday was when Jim Cramer turned really, really bullish on Bitcoin. Technological marvel that's here to stay. He said this is reality. He even threw Charlie Munger under the bus, saying this is the one thing he got wrong. And we know, based on history, Cramer or inverse Cramer is usually right. Hopefully this is just temporary. But all jokes aside, yes, Jim does make some bad calls on Bitcoin, but this is one call he is not wrong about. Bitcoin is a technological marvel. It can't be killed. It is here to stay. So besides inverse Cramer being right for the day, what else explains why Bitcoin dumped? And that is this analyst, Marcus from Matrixport, that said he believes that all Bitcoin spot ETFs will be rejected in January. Now, there's two ways to take this. One is, well, if he is correct and they're all rejected in January, what does that mean? Nothing really, because there's another application deadline in March. So we just have to wait a few more months. The other way to take it is this guy has no idea what he's talking about because there has been nothing official that has come out. And he's just talking out of his you-know-what and causing a whole bunch of FUD for no apparent reason. So there's two ways to take this or analyze this. One is he just caused a whole bunch of FUD and caused the market to go down. Or two, he is correct. He has some insider information, or he is a lucky guest. And then that just means we have to wait a couple more months. That's how you can take this. But here's the thing. Again, just because one analyst said it doesn't mean that it's actually the case. All signs are still indicating that the SEC is still going to make approvals before January 10th. The SEC is processing paperwork as we speak. So I don't know. I don't know how to take this. You have one analyst coming out and no one else is saying it. And it's a random analyst. It's not an analyst from BlackRock. It's not BlackRock themselves coming out. It's just some analyst just say, I don't think it's going to be approved in January. So I don't know. That's the only thing. I don't know if I believe that. And it'll be funny because it would be really funny if like in a few hours, then we get headline news, ETFs are approved, right? Like that would be really funny. And this morning would just be laughable, right? But that's how it is. Today is the 15th anniversary of the very first Bitcoin Genesis Block, when Bitcoin was created and turned on 15 years ago. And why spot ETFs are irrelevant is because Bitcoin was not created because Satoshi said we needed ETFs. No, he created it because he saw how bad things were getting financially in the US, how the system was broken. And this was back in 2008, guys. The system is more broken today, but they thought that we need to do something better. As a people, we need to create a financial system, a payment network, a store of value that's better than fiat. And today, you look at the national debt in the US has hit $34 trillion. That's why it's so important to hold on Bitcoin. As an investor, you need to hold on things that will not inflate away to nothing. You need to hold on hard assets like Bitcoin, because there's nothing that outperforms Bitcoin, so that you could get away from the shenanigans of our government and governments around the world, right? So spot ETFs, even though it is a major, major, major catalyst and will drive billions to trillions within the space, it's not the end-all, be-all instrument that that Bitcoin requires. Okay, no, by no means. Bitcoin will continue to do its thing. In fact, there's 90,000 Bitcoin millionaires now, a 300% jump from 15 years ago. Well, obviously from 15 years ago. More and more people are turning to Bitcoin because they understand that it's the one thing that you want to put your money in and just hodl and DCA forever, basically. But today, also, because of the FUD, because of the dump, we have massive liquidations, massive long liquidations, which is also driving prices lower. You can see here, Look on Chain said after the Matrixport Analyst, right, Bitcoin plummeted 10%. Then you have like this $1 billion of longs being liquidated, way too many people playing with leverage and getting liquidated. And then you got this guy, not this guy, but 103 million liquidated in 1 hour, right? So obviously with long squeezes, it's going to cause a lot of sell pressure, right? We don't want to see long squeezes. We want to see short squeezes. We want to see those shorts get wrecked, not longs. Here's the trap that I don't want you guys to fall for. I bookmarked this, and I'm going to show this again and again and again and again and again. If you've been through any of the cycles before, or if you have not been through any of the cycles before, know that dips are perfectly natural. Dips happen. They always do. Not only do they happen during crypto winter, they happen during bull markets. Parabolic rises, especially, you see massive, massive sell-offs. Today's was only 10%. Imagine waking up to a minus 30% dip and still knowing that we're in a bull market, right? It's wild. It messes with your mind. But it happens every single time. In 2017, when we went from 1,000 to 20,000, there's days, weeks where we went down not 30, 40%. Imagine that. That's Bitcoin falling from 45 down to like 30,000 overnight, or maybe lower than that, like 25,000 overnight. That's what it would be equivalent to. 2021, we saw less of those dumps, but we still had a 32% drop, a 23% drop, a 26% drop. So it happens. Just because we have a dip, just because we have some FUD from some analysts or massive liquidations, does not mean that the bull run is over. By no means. In fact, as the bull run continues upwards, we're going to see more. We're going to see more of these sell-offs. There's no doubt about it. The more greed that there is in the market, the higher the chance that there's going to be another sell-off, right? It's always like that. But the beauty is, so what? What are you supposed to do with this knowledge, right? Do you fall for this trap and just say, well, okay, if the market's selling off, I'm just going to sell off too. I'm going to panic dump. No, because nothing has changed. Fundamentally, things are still looking bright. The reasons why I just said why Bitcoin was created and why people are buying it, that hasn't changed.